Now from Melbourne Park, ESPN2 exclusively presents the Australian Open. ESPN2, the Grand Slam Network.
And g'day live from Melbourne, Australia on a Friday evening. Dramatic day. On-court temperatures more than 100 degrees. Then a big storm blew through. Heavy rain. Now the skies are clear. Set for tennis on Rod Laver Arena. Holding on. Digging deep. Scrutinized. Analyzed. Questioned. Serena Williams is in a state of flux. And there's no telling where it will lead. The ladies' defending champion in action at the Australian Open. Welcome back live. There is Serena Williams following her, Daniela Hantuchova, her opponent tonight for this third round match. Serena, as the stakes get higher, the opponents get better. She will have to be much better than she has been perhaps in her first two matches here at the Australian Open 2006. Welcome inside Rod Laver Arena with Mary Carrillo. I'm Chris Fowler. Well, it has been a dramatic day. I mean, for the weather, it's affected the players on court. Mary, earlier today in this half of the women's draw, we saw Lindsay Davenport have to dig a little bit deep and beat another Russian, Maria Sharapova, in 3 sets.
That was a tough one. That had to go the distance, and there were heat problems, there were injury timeouts, but Davenport got herself through that one.
And this is the final puzzle piece in this half of the women's draw. Maria Sharapova, who moved through very easily today, waiting for the winner of this match. A lot of anticipation. Sharapova, Serena, if Serena can do her part here today. Maria's part was done very well, very impressive.
And very quickly.
Yes, it was.
A bit of a surprise that this wasn't more of a match, really, because she was playing a tough lefty, Jelena Kostanic, and I don't know, a lot of us thought maybe this could be an interesting match because, you know, Kostanic is pretty good, but Sharapova quickly got up to a 5-love lead, and here she is breaking Kostanic for the third consecutive time, moving well from defense to offense.
And never losing focus in this match as she had against Ashley Harkleroad in the previous round when she suffered blister problems. She dropped the hammer quickly in the second set as well.
She sure did, and she's got my favorite new injury in tennis, a rib malfunction. Didn't see any sign of that at all. That was very, very nicely done by Maria Sharapova. So now she gets to wait to see who wins this match tonight.
Elena Vesnina, yet another young Russian, will take on fellow Russian Nadia Petrova, the other part of this section. And of course, if it is Sharapova and Serena, that's the match folks down here have been waiting for. It's a rematch of that classic semifinal a year ago when Serena prevailed, even though Sharapova held 3 match points.
Yeah.
So can Serena set that matchup up? She's struggled a little bit. Fitness has been a question. All the photographers have been shooting pictures of her, all the radio stations talking about her fitness, and that has been the key issue, and down here anyway in the first 2 rounds.
It's been the biggest story going into the Australian Open. And but according to Serena, you know, she feels that she's very fit, and she doesn't understand really what all the fuss is about.
Honestly, I've never read any comments about my fitness. I don't read the papers. I always look at the pictures, and usually I'm like, ugh, or ooh. I have a lot of energy right now. It's really hot. Like, I just feel like dancing. I'm not tired at all. I'm not surprised that I'm not tired. I'm just surprised I have so much energy. Everyone's a threat. I'm real serious, and I'm here to be a threat as well.
Well, so far from the press down here, there's been more than whoo But, you know, if Serena starts playing, you know, better tennis, her best tennis, they'll forget about that and put the focus back on the court. You can see that she's won 16 straight matches at this tournament. The last couple of times she's played it, she's won it. So she's obviously, you know, confident down here and hasn't had to play anything close to her best tennis against her first two opponents.
No, she really hasn't. You know, on the same day that Venus Williams lost in the first round, Serena played a night match against Na Li of China, and she was not at her best, and Na Li was pretty much dominating this thing until Serena got herself going. And the fact is, look, I don't think she's in great shape. A lot of us don't. But she's won major titles not in great shape. She looked kind of big last year, and she ended up winning that thing, beating Sharapova in the semis and Davenport in the final. So once she got going in this one and deep into this match, she took utter control of Na Li and overpowered her.
She's the kind of athlete who can, you know, be the best without being her best. And Camille Penn, her second-round opponent here, just
that wasn't even
threat at all. Serena well inside the court, just cracking winners and cutting down on her errors because she was never pressured in the match.
Yeah.
So the question tonight is she takes on Daniela Hantuchova, a former top 10 player from Slovakia. They've played 3 times before, and Daniela has not won a set against Serena. Very few of the sets have been competitive. Does she have the kind of game that can pose Serena matchup problems and force her to raise her level?
Well, for her part, Daniela Hantuchova spent a lot of last week not feeling well at all. There was a bug that was racing through the WTA Tour locker room, and it really knocked her down a bit. So that certainly lessens her chances. You know, she hits a beautiful ball. She doesn't move that well, but she strikes a very clean ball. And if Serena makes the kind of errors that she was making in the first round, the kind of errors that knocked Venus Williams out of the Australian Open, then yes, I give Hantuchova a chance. But again, with Serena, she wants it so much. Her desire is so great, and that has gotten her through so many tough matches. I think she can do it again.
Well, she wants badly a chance to play Sharapova. As you'll hear later on, Sharapova wants revenge in the next round. But first things first, Hantuchova versus Serena when we come back live to Melbourne.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of the 2006 Australian Open, brought to you by Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective. And Saab. When you used to build jets, you don't just build another car. Saab, born from jets.
Back live, Daniela Hantuchova and Serena Williams just a couple minutes away inside Rod Laver Arena. We talked about the heat earlier today, which forced the suspension of play. Now it's a pleasant 79 degrees, and the heavy rains have moved on. Temperatures still forecast to be very, very hot, perhaps over 100 degrees this weekend, which would turn it into an indoor tennis tournament. No worries tonight, though. The global feel of this tournament, tremendous. Some Americans down under, they don't have tickets. They'll be watching on the big screen outside. It's a sellout crowd inside Rod Laver Arena. And down courtside is Brad Gilbert. Let's check in with Beach.
Conditions couldn't be any perfect down here. No wind. It's maybe 80 degrees. The one thing I see in this match is Serena, the 3 times that she's beaten her, has really been able to get to the Hantuchova speed. She is very slow. But the one thing tonight, if I'm Hantuchova, is I start busting the backhand down the line early. See how well Serena is moving, because if she gets her on the string moving, she's got a shot. But if Serena's dictating play, I think Hantuchova is in a lot of trouble.
Brad, thanks. We'll see which player can dictate and get the other on the move. Serena Williams, of course, very familiar figure. And that 16-match winning streak down under. The numbers, of course, dropping off in 2005. As Mary said, she didn't do a whole lot. Almost shocking inactivity, really, with the knee injury and a very light schedule. But down under, 26-4. She didn't play down here in 2004, so she's won it the last couple of times that she's entered. The Williams contingent, Mother Horace in evidence. Again, Venus, as Mary mentioned, went out very early, knocked out in the opening round, so Serena has been carrying the flag since. Jess Mullins, her agent there. Daniela Hantuchova lives in Monte Carlo, born in Slovakia. 22 years old, has that one pro title when she beat Martina Hingis, whose comeback at this tournament's been a big story for that title in Indian Wells. It's kind of a career semifinalist, Mary. She beats the player she's supposed to beat. Then when she gets up into some of the true heavyweights, struggles, as a lot of players do.
Well, in 2002, when she played at the Indian Wells tournament, she was ranked 26 in the world, and that week she had so many good wins, including one against Justine N. Ardant and then against Martina Hingis in the final. It was her first ever final, and she took it, and she ended up having a tremendous 2002. She got to the semis or better at 6 different turns. She was the next big thing. This kid right here, she was the one. She was the Sharapova of 2002. But what happened really, I feel, after that, and they played last year in Dubai. As you can see, we've already mentioned that Serena's beaten her all 3 times that they've met. What happened is she had a great year that year, and I think she put an incredible amount of pressure on herself the next year. And this kid she's very driven, and she's very ambitious, and she wanted to defend all those points the next year, and she played so much tennis, Chris, and she was feeling the pressure of it. And then after that year, she started to struggle with some weight problems as well. She started having some family problems. Her mom and dad broke up. So all this kind of stuff was swirling around this kid. And only now do I feel like she's really starting to climb back and start to try to be where she belongs.
Her issue often has been too little weight, not too much weight. People very concerned about her health and whether she has enough strength and stamina to make it through.
Right. Well, 2004, 2 years ago, when she was ranked 31 in the world, that's when she really looked very, very thin, and everyone was worried about her. And obviously now, as I said, she was sick last week, wasn't able to keep a lot of food in her body, but hopefully she'll be fit for tonight's match.
Serena to serve to begin this 3rd round match. Right away, the test of movement, which Brad says is going to be key for both players. Get the opponent on the run.
Yeah, that would be a very big deal. And this wasn't a great shot from Hantuchova, but she is comfortable at the net. She's a very good doubles player, very good mixed doubles player. When she gets up there, you'll see she's very capable.
Trouble with the shoe down there. 1 point in. Tied up 3 times. Very easy hole for Serena Williams to open this match. Here were her thoughts on this matchup tonight. She's been playing really well lately. She's no pushover. Damning with faint praise. So I definitely have to be ready for that. She's made a lot of improvements in her game and everything. So like I said, she's no pushover. Serena never wanted to really delve into a detailed analysis of her opponent before the match. She didn't give much away, does she?
No.
In terms of tactics and game plan, and no.
Well, that's what Hantuchova does so well. Drives those ground strokes Talk about the fact that she hasn't great movement and foot speed, but she hits a very clean ball, and she wants these rallies to be as quick as possible. She wants to do some damage off her serve and off her return game.
Yeah, getting Serena on the run early in the point.
That was a very tough volley that Hantuchova made there. This one, of course, was easy.
Air doubles now going for a lot in these second serves, fearing the Serena return. Finds the line there, holds 1-all in the first set. Both players relieved that when the schedule came out, this was a night match. This is a coveted slot for the players, avoiding those 100-degree temperatures on the court and the uncertainty, the stops and starts with the heat policy. At night, no such worries. Well, she had the game plan working there before the error.
Serena will have to work a little bit harder to track down these shots from Hantuchova. She hits pretty hard and pretty flat, doesn't she?
She certainly does. Been a lot of talk about that. If the flat shots work on rebound ace on the men's side. Ace from Serena. Brad Gilbert hammering away on the fact that if you don't put heavy spin on the ball, which kicks it up off these courts, you're not succeeding here. The players that play flat are getting knocked out one by one. It's less of a factor, of course, on the women's side. You don't have players hitting with the heavy spin. Three errors off the Williams racket in this game. Pair of break points for Hantuchova.
Hantuchova will aim quite a bit to the weaker side of the Williams ground game, the forehand. problem with Hantuchova is her game is pretty high risk. You know, if she were fleeter of foot,
well, those flat shots carry risk with it.
Exactly. I mean, if she were faster, she'd always be in a good position to go for these line drives. She likes hitting down the line a lot. Off both sides. And, of course, that's a higher risk shot because the net's higher.
Still has a break point.
Nice safe forehands from Serena. Cross court, which again is much safer, something that I've always felt Hantuchova could do more of. Not only is the net lower, but the diagonal makes the shot longer.
You're right there. She's a line drive hitter.
Yeah. Pretty funny. Serena literally shook off that last shot. Now a couple of backhand misses give Hantuchova another look at this break.
Pushing Serena deep with those returns, not getting a lot of time in the backhands. Errors piling up. Gets out of jail. His second ace. Serving at 121 miles an hour. Close to 200K.
Held off 3 break points already. Done it again.
Serena often judges matches by how close she's hitting to the line. She's the second round match, you know, totally untroubled by pain. She appreciated the fact that she was hitting the lines or aiming near the lines. She was hitting outside the lines a lot in her first round match. What do you see in the backhand side, Mary? It's clearly breaking down in this game.
They're all in the net.
Wiping away another break point with her third ace already. Nice high ball toss, a service motion she says she copied from Pete Sampras. Hantuchova again dictating to create yet another break point in this game.
It's Nigel Sears with the gray hair. He's been with Hantuchova for years now. And they spent the time coming in before the Australian Open training in South Africa. She loves that country, and she spends a lot of the off-season there when she can.
I don't blame her. Nice place. break point. Hantuchova cashes in 2-1 in the opening set. Back live after this.
Serena gets angry at herself, Chris, when she drifts too far behind the baseline. She's always telling herself to move closer.
Get caught leaning the wrong way. First ace for Hantuchova.
She did that the last time she was up 40-love. Decided to go for a big second serve, and just as she did in her last service game, she double faulted at 40-love. She's had a couple already. See if she keeps going for the big ones.
Wow. Ace number 2 and a pretty easy hole for Hantuchova, and perhaps growing confidence for a player that hasn't taken a set off of Serena in their 3 previous meetings.
Now let's see if Brad was talking about happens again in this game, and if it bothers Serena now that she's down a break. Hantuchova walks off before when she's ready to serve.
She turned her back, but she was ready when Serena stepped to the line.
It's smart that Hantuchova goes to that shot, because you have to anticipate her drives. You have to anticipate that you're going to be facing length and power, not that. There's a little hold up. Went after that serve.
She sure did. She's really returning Serena's serve well. Serena's gone for some big serves as she heads to
Daniela.
her chair. And being told that the raindrops are beginning to fall. The roof open here. Serena had it right for the chair before the chair said anything, and you can see it's coming down pretty good.
Guys, can you come and put the umbrellas so you can get some umbrellas?
Momentum was all Hantuchova's, and we'll have a delay while the roof is closed here, assuming the raindrops continue. I think she was kind of bemused because Serena had it right from the baseline right to her chair before Allison Lang had said anything about this. It seems like a pretty obvious decision as the umbrellas really come out and the rain begins to fall. So we have a roof and it will be closed, but in the meantime a brief delay in Melbourne, Australia.
Staples has all the ink you need and $3 off for any empty cartridge you bring in. Staples, that was easy. When you're
on the road, there's only one way to get Windows Mobile powered by broadband access. It's the network. Only Verizon Wireless has the new Trio 700W smartphone, the first Trio to run mobile versions of Microsoft applications just like your PC. All on the nation's largest high-speed wireless broadband network. Now at a great price.
Go get him. Thanks.
Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one.
Again, Williams to serve at 15:30, so an opening here for Hantuchova to go up 2 breaks. If she can keep her momentum. By the way, I think Brad misses coaching, though, don't you?
Oh, you
TV stuff's fun. I think he's missing heading in, chatting with a player in a rain delay, figuring things out.
Those beautiful drives down the line.
She comes back out razor sharp after the half-hour delay, sets up a break point to go up 2 breaks in this opening set.
That first year, 2002, which was really the breakout year for Hantuchova, I don't think I'd ever seen a young player, especially, play down the line so much off both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Another backhand error gains an even bigger lead now for Hantuchova.
Serena in a deep hole. Daniela Hantuchova has never taken a set off Serena in 3 matches, but she's closing in on this first set here, up 2 breaks.
This is the most she's ever won in a set. She had one more 6-4 set against Serena in the 3 times they've played.
She's perfect when she's gotten the first serve in this match. 8 for 8 now, Brad. Brad's shy. Brad doesn't want to talk when that close to playing a point, I guess.
Another one.
That's been her one trouble in this set so far. Double fault number 4.
Well, it looks to me like she's going first serve, first serve. She's hitting her second serve almost as big as her first. Very little bit of spin, but I think that's her decided plan. Be aggressive on the second serve.
Right now, she's at 62%, so it hasn't hurt her yet. Oof.
I don't think Hantuchova has lost a point in her service games when she has not double faulted.
She has some footwork problems here from Serena. I don't know how badly she rolled that left ankle. I don't think she had all of her weight on it. But, we'll see if she pulls up on it in this next point. Even if Serena Williams loses this set, Serena and her sister and maybe one other player, Maria Sharapova, do a better job of throwing out a bad set than anybody in the game. They can just, I don't know where they put it, but they put it behind them. Another backhand miss. And only one backhand winner from Serena.
You're right, though. I mean, she would not have won half the titles she's won if she weren't able to push out of her mind very quickly a bad set. And it is so hard to do. He pushes that forehand real long.
We've seen players who are playing great and play one bad game. And it devastates them when they go away.
Sure. Great players, even. Serena there in plenty of time. It flails wildly. And Serena is now questioning the time that Hantuchova is taking between points. She said, are you sure she's not taking too much time? (5-1) Hantuchova. She just continues to dial in those down-the-line returns. Serena taking something off the serve, and it came back almost as fast. She kind of goes back behind the court and has a little conference with herself after every point, doesn't she? Nods her head. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that.
It's like Maria. It's long, and now Hantuchova 2 points away. Bad miss from Serena. Set point. Oh, she's got her back to Serena again.
It's really annoying her.
Serena wants to do everything she can to make sure that Hantuchova has to serve out this first set. We've seen Daniela with 4 double faults. Just tests her mettle. That was very close. And it looks like it caught a piece of the line to draw it back to deuce.
You're right. It's a deep hole she's in, down 2 breaks, but if she can hold here and shot spot confirms Hantuchova's shot caught the line, maybe she can get Daniela thinking a little bit.
Yeah.
Jams her with the body serve. Sets up the easy winner. Those second serve points have been trouble. Hantuchova just stepping in and taking a rip. 4 of 13, points won on her second serve. 31%. That won't win you many matches. Badly missing, and Hantuchova has a second chance at a set point. Missed that. Aggressive stuff, though, from Hantuchova at set point. She wasn't hanging around waiting for the error, was she?
It's high risk.
She took a huge rip and hit a return about an inch inside the baseline. Deuce number 4 in this game. It's her first double fault. Set point number 3. Hantuchova breaks Serena's serve 3 times, the best set she's ever played against the defending champion. But the job is just half done, and Serena has come back so many times. That was the trainer lurking, by the way, in the tunnel. When we come back, drama builds here. Serena on the ropes a bit. Welcome back live to Melbourne. Strong first set for Daniela Hantuchova. Brad, you don't see Serena broken 3 times in a set very often.
A couple of things that I'm really surprised about. If you'd have told me before the match that the movement would be fairly similar, I would be shocked. But Hantuchova's moving every bit as well as Serena, and Serena's balls are flying. She needs to get a little tighter racket. And one thing that I'm very surprised on Serena, her second serve, I have never seen it as weak as it is, and her opponent is jumping on it.
Mm-hmm. Already double fault number 5 for Hantuchova. High risk tennis for both players. A lot more errors than winners in that first set. Hantuchova going for a lot on these serves.
She's going for bigger serves and better serves than Serena. You know, when Serena and Venus dominated women's tennis, they had by far the 2 best serves in women's tennis. By far.
And Venus in her opening round loss broken 8 times, I believe.
She got broken 8 times, 65 errors, and already now Serena's been broken 3 times. If I could coach them, That would be the first order of business, is get their serve back. Remember how big they used to serve,
Sure.
by the way? I mean, they were in the 120s almost all the time. Now, Venus had always had a lesser second serve than Serena's. But, you know, neither one of them even tries to serve that big anymore.
Both players slugging, but Hantuchova is just a lot more steady at this point.
Serena's questioning her frame now. She doesn't feel like she's got control. She's spraying them.
You can see that one wasn't exactly in the center of the strings. You've seen her so many times, though. You know, fight, compete, figure things out, raise her level, and force the opponent to take the win from her, and they're unable to do it.
She's done this so many times, Serena. She's come back so many times. That's a great weapon. The weapon of reputation.
And Hantuchova knows that.
You bet. If you want to beat a Williams sister, it's highly recommended you do it in straight sets. Once it goes 3, they get to use their will.
And she's got to push, Daniela does, all those thoughts out of her mind and just keep doing what she's doing.
She's got to play 2 clean sets, and she's in the 4th round.
Maria Sharapova waiting for the winner here. Not tonight, in a couple days.
Now that's nice. She's putting together a nice game, this one, Serena. Taking a little bit more charge, a little more declarative.
In the first Hantuchova service game, where she's been troubled at all, Serena hadn't yet had a break point. Deuce now. And then that. She's not just missing some of these. She's missing big. Hantuchova holds 1-love. If you missed the first set, Hantuchova serving, really in control in her service games, pushing Serena back with deep ground strokes.
Up 3-1 when the rain began, and it was a long rain delay. It had to be at least half an hour, and you would think at that point maybe Serena would regroup, maybe Donnie would go away a little bit, but that's not what happened. She came out very well right from the jump and just went back to business, closing out that first set 6-1 with shots like that. Breaking Serena 3 times.
Sorry, man. This is back live now. First point, second game. And the same story.
That bottom line is pretty much, look at that, Serena hasn't even gotten near a break point yet.
Yep.
A lot of unforced errors, not just off the forehand side, the backhand too.
number 4. Crowd's starting to clearly get behind Serena. So often she's the big favorite in her matches. Crowd will root for the underdog in the longer match. Now they definitely want to see 3 sets here. Just, she can't seem to string together a couple of good points, Mary.
And there's no one part of her game she can lean on, you know, that's working for her.
It's true. The serve's not there. Plenty of errors off both the forehand and the backhand side.
And I still think she'll be hard to beat. So, what does that say?
Would you tell Daniela to just maybe not play quite such high-risk tennis, or just keep some balls in play and see if she can induce the errors?
Well, this is the deal. You know, when Nigel Sears took over as her coach, he wasn't nearly as great as he is now. I think it's Hantuchova's risk-reward ratio that has brought that about.
One game all. NBA action continues Friday night. A doubleheader. 8 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN HD. Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, and the Spurs face Shaq, Dwayne Wade, and the Miami Heat. 10:30 Eastern. It's Kobe and the Lakers against the Phoenix Suns. Coverage begins on ESPN 7:30 Eastern with Kia NBA Shoot-Around. Pre-game show with all the answers. Answers are what Serena needs right here in the second set if she's going to survive. Her 16-match winning streak on the line, and there is Hantuchova's coach.
I remember when that hair was brown.
A year and a half ago?
Very nice man, and he was a very useful player too. That played for Great Britain, a good grass court player. He knows his young charge very well. Understands her frailties.
And it's interesting that he's stuck with her, as you said, through thick and thin, through all these kinds of problems. In the era in which players change coaches, you know, every other month, they've had a good, long player-coach relationship.
You're right about that. And yet there have been times when her body language goes so far south and she gets so negative that he's walked away from her matches. So I mean, he just does not like seeing any kind of negativity from Hantuchova. You know, he wants her to get a little more of that stiff upper lip that his people are so famous for.
It's all positive right now. 40 love. A little pressure on the previous service game. Smooth sailing right here. Look at the body language now. It is 100% positive. She kind of struts up to the line.
I remember speaking with Nigel a couple of years ago when Hantuchova was first coming on, and I was telling him, because she's just a lovely girl. She's pretty quiet and shy, and traveled with her mom almost all the time, and just very polite, good command of the language. And he said, "Yeah, but how do I get her to be faster? I mean, she's got the longest legs on. She's supposed to have 42-inch legs." I said, "Nigel, you're coaching a baby giraffe. How fast do you think she can get?"
42-inch inseam? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like something delirious. That's a miss.
Previous shot from Serena caught the line. She mistimes that forehand on serve. Wake up, it's exciting.
That's Mary Jo's kid.
Hey.
She should go home.
Isabella, wake up. The young Scot, Andy Murray, dismissed here in the first round by Chela, but hanging around watching this match tonight.
And
Get a haircut, huh?
He hasn't had one in a year, he claims. And that's Tony Godsick right there, Mary Jo Fernandez's husband in the pink shirt, and out cold is Isabella
left, yeah.
Godsick. What kind of mother allows a kid to stay up this
shocking.
late at night?
Past 9 o'clock.
Unbelievable.
She's a
doesn't
big tennis
seem
fan.
to care who wins this match, does she? Isabella.
She'll wake up for the third set if Serena can pull this even. But I'm impressed that Andy Murray is rocked up, as they say here. Still hitting those lasers up the line. All the running in this match being done by Serena. Well played from Serena. When she gets down, she doesn't often, start playing safer and going for less. She just keeps ripping and hoping she finds the range. That's on the line. Hantuchova, brilliant pass. Coach likes that. Missed that. Serena holds. 2-all. A 16-match winning streak at the Australian Open on the line here. Can she close it out here? And Mary says she's flirting with disaster if she takes us to a third set. Hantuchova.
Just like the rest of her game, hard and flat. And her second serve has been, except for the double faults, her second serve has been better than Serena's. Serena has not yet been able to pressure this serve.
Just way too anxious there.
Even didn't Daniela have 2 double faults in one game?
She did?
Serena didn't win that game.
Well, she's only lost a total of 10 points on serve, 5 of them double faults.
Yeah. And that double fault, number 6, gives Serena an opening here
30 all. Again, she hasn't yet had a break point tonight.
Here it comes.
Just a crack in the confidence. Serena Williams' first break point of the evening.
And that was a scared-looking second serve into the net. She hasn't been missing them into the net. You feel better about it when you miss big than little.
She takes something off the first serve. Assist from Hantuchova with the doubles and a big assist from the net court, and Serena Williams has her first break of the night. The way things are going, she'll take it. Beautiful Friday evening indoor tennis here, and Serena Williams down a set, has a break. Brad, do you think the Hantuchova confidence cracking just a bit after that game?
Well, you know, she was playing the match definitely on her terms, slowing Serena down, playing at a slower pace. But one thing I do notice about the Hantuchova serve, when she gets a little tight for a tall girl, her toss gets really, really low. It's almost like she has to duck to hit it. And I'd like to think that at her height, she'd get a little more height on that toss on the second serve.
We'll see if Serena, meantime, can consolidate the break.
This also looks like there is absolutely no game plan change for Serena. She's just going to keep banging away, and she doesn't get frustrated when she misses, and she has missed a lot here, but she just keeps on trying to hit.
Brad, that's been the pattern. Try to slug your way out of a slump. A quick 30 love now. Is this thing really turning around? Wow, that is a really bad miss for her third double fault of the match.
She was up a break, up 30 love, and then a couple of forehand misses and a double fault.
Gestured to her box there and kind of gave a frustrated shrug.
She didn't even get out of the way. There was no footwork. There's just no preparation at all. And now a chance for Hantuchova get this back again. And again, Hantuchova makes Serena wait.
great athleticism. She worked hard from deep behind the court to get that shot. I think she's questioning the tactics there, but it wasn't bad. That's a pretty good drop shot.
Yeah, but that's where she wasn't in great. She should have known that Serena was going to track that down. Chris. She should have been there in time that she didn't have to throw up a defensive shot of her own.
Maybe follow it in to the net.
Just you have to assume Serena's going to make that.
Such a key game there when Hantuchova had given Serena momentum and she was in danger of giving it back. Instead, the athletic get, the big serve gets her out of trouble. 4-2. Remember, the last 2 times she has entered this tournament, was injured in 2004, she won it. Her last loss here, how about that, to Martina Hingis back in 2001 in the quarters. And Hingis, of course, back this year.
Well, Hingis, not after
third round.
After she beat Serena in the quarters, she had to play Venus in the semis.
And then she lost in the final
to Capriati.
And the serve really starting to go away. Oh, fault number 8. And Camp a lot more concerned than they were about 15 minutes ago. That's nice.
Eight double faults, but this is her 4th ace.
Pushes Serena back. She has a check of the baseline. Right on it.
Serena didn't question it because it skidded, so she knew it hit the line.
Sails long. Williams to serve at 4-3 up a break, trying to level this third round match. Serena Williams able to turn around this match. Hantuchova, a couple of key double faults a few games ago. Williams finally cashing in the one and only break point she's had in this match, and now serving at 4-3. 16 straight match wins in this tournament for Serena, most of them on this Rod Laver Arena court in a spot against Sharapova. Sunday at stake here. Once again, Hantuchova pushing Serena back with a very deep return. She's had a pretty good look at Serena's serve, first and second serve all night. Double fault number 4 for Serena. And already in a love 30 hole here. The seats are so good in this arena. You don't really need binoculars, lady.
15,000.
Big point for Serena there at love 30, and she goes to the old 1-2 tennis. Tried it again. Big serve, big forehand. That one unlucky. Where she got the lucky break from the net cord to get the break there. And now Hantuchova a pair of break points to get back even in the set. Jams her with the body serve. Hantuchova now 3 of 12 on break points. Defensive tennis from that end of the court by Serena in that point. She tries the backhand slice, catches the tape, and Hantuchova breaks 4-all. She played a terrific point, Mary, until that. Hantuchova kept pounding away.
Now here's the, when Venus lost in her first round, I just kept waiting for it. Was a close match, even though she was playing very bad tennis, but I kept waiting for Venus to become Venus. I'm waiting for Serena to become Serena. I mean, this is when the Williams sisters tend to thrive, when, just throw it down when the stakes are at their highest. I'm a little surprised, really, right now that she's not making more noise. She's not grunting any. That's when I know she's fully engaged and knows she's got to make her move. And she's quiet. Remember that grunt fest against Sharapova last year?
There's a come on from her end of the court.
She heard you.
You want more noise during the point, though, huh?
Yeah. And I don't like grunting, but at least that's when I know that Serena's throwing it all down.
I'm going to ask Brad his opinion if he thinks the decibel level needs to come up in this match to get her game where it needs to be. Critical game here after Hantuchova breaks back for 4-all.
Oh yeah.
Hey Mary, you said you were waiting for Serena to become Serena. The one thing that I really noticed is the Serena of old to right now is the movement.
Yeah.
She's nowhere near moving the way she used to.
That's right.
And she's not able to get to shots. And then she's getting to them late. When she pulls the trigger, that's why so many balls are going out on her.
I'm with you, Brad. But you know what? Serena resents that kind of talk.
Well, reality maybe is tough to swallow. Kim Clijsters enjoying this match. A lot of interest in this one from the fellow players.
But my biggest concern here for Hantuchova, Mary, I heard you say about she won in Palm Springs in 2002. I just looked down at her little player profile. That is the only title of her career. So she's had trouble closing out weeks and big matches.
That's true, Brett. It's often telling me a lot of talent, but just one title. I mean, those titles have slipped away in the semifinal round. Typically, when she runs up against the better players in the draw. Terrific. This is getting pretty good. Superb slugging from Hantuchova got Serena on the run. She was playing great defense, but Hantuchova is still dictating. It was big at 15-34 all. Well, players know how big every point is now. Solid game from Hantuchova. And now Serena Williams will serve to stay alive in the Australian Open. 4-5 down a set. That's the Telstra Dome. They play cricket in there. That's just across town in Melbourne. It's a city that is sports crazy. A lot of pretty new sports venues here. Got a cricket stadium next door to the tennis that seats about 100,000. Mom, although she was smiling a second ago, has to be concerned. Serena Williams with a 16-match winning streak. Defending champion here at the Australian Open. Serving to stay in this match. Well, she certainly hasn't become tentative at this point, has she? Still swinging away. Late call, but clearly long. Hantuchova is going to have a conversation with Allison Lang. Lang saying she's sure. That was back. On the ropes, Serena Williams holds at love. 5 games all. Her statement there was, I'm not going to give it away. Hantuchova's going to have to take it. Can she? Her serve's not as fast on the radar gun as Serena's, but really penetrating and hard for Serena to read. Been really dominant, Hantuchova, on her first serve. Making Serena wait again, taking plenty of time. Good return. Tries to hit behind Hantuchova and just sprays it long. Keeps looking for answers in her strings and not finding any. Fist pump from Hantuchova. Once again, Serena have to serve to stay in it. When we come back live from Melbourne. Serena Williams down 5-6 and down a set with a 16-match winning streak at the Australian Open on the line. Her big sister Venus Williams sent out in the first round by Svetlana Pironkova, a teenager from Bulgaria who was playing her first Grand Slam event. This was a stunner. But Pironkova says she wasn't that stunned. She had lost to Venus in their previous meeting. It was on clay, 9-7, outlasting former Grand Slam champion here.
And if Serena loses tonight, it will be the quickest departure for both sisters ever in a major.
I didn't know they could have a major without a Williams sister in the second week. But it's about to happen unless Serena can turn this around.
Daniela Hantuchova looking for her biggest win in years.
Figure things out here, and Hantuchova not flinching so far. 2 points away. She's really keeping Serena waiting too. That was a long conference with herself with her back to the server. really on the verge now, ready to serve at triple match point. Finally, Hantuchova is ready. Serve on the line. A fan yelled out right in the middle of that point. Didn't distract Serena. 1 match point save, 2 more to come. Baseline.
She stopped playing it. She thought it was out. She was ready to throw her arms up in triumph. Hantuchova, and this thing stayed in.
Serena about a millimeter from losing this match.
It's unbelievable how long Hantuchova's taken right now.
Still 1 more match point to come. She has kept Serena waiting a while here.
This is like the semis last year where she's down 3 match points.
She's come up with 2 huge serves near the line, hit a baseline in the rally, the other point, and she is just clinging to life here. Deuce. Serena Williams a point away from forcing a tiebreak. Really giving Hantuchova something to think about. Well, Serena Williams put herself against the wall, but boy, did she dig out fiercely in that game, saving 3 match points. And this set will be decided in a tiebreak. Even with all the errors as they pile up, Mary, the fighting spirit never goes away, does it?
Nope. And, you know, I say again, you want to beat Serena? Do it in straight sets.
When you want to beat Serena, don't squander match points.
3 times?
Although you can't say she squandered, though.
Well, no, one of them she
really
stopped playing. No, one of them she blew because she stopped playing and she was waiting for an out call. The second match point, I think, is the one that might haunt her if she ends up losing this match. She just stopped playing. She was waiting for someone to call game, set, and match.
First to 7 by 2, Hantuchova to begin it. stuff from Hantuchova. And Williams back right against the wall again. 3-love.
She didn't go for a big second serve, Hantuchova. She bent it in, and Serena jumped all over it. Hantuchova's had 9 double faults from going for her second serves.
Flip the top
that time
of
she
the
didn't.
tape. Excuse me.
Finally, she exercised some modicum of caution, and she paid for it.
There wasn't much caution in that return. Back on serve in the tiebreak. Three straight points for Williams, 3-all.
Have another look at the second match point that Hantuchova had in this rally. She assumes that this one's out. Stops playing it, and now all of a sudden there's no call. Tried to flail at it and was well wide.
So you're saying stay in there, stay in there.
Well,
don't
again,
lose it.
we talk about the fact that Hantuchova has problems finishing. You know, that's a primary example.
And again, she is keeping Serena waiting a long time on the changeover here. Now doing a little stutter step on the far side.
Hey, Mary Chris, I'm amazed the umpire has not warned Hantuchova. I mean, she's taking an excessive amount of time. As she gets tighter, she takes more time, and she's going over the 25-second shot clock.
And Serena, early in the match, asked the chair to keep an eye on it.
Rarely enforced, though, right?
David Nalbandian was warned that he was taking too much time in that thing. That was a 5-setter.
In this match right now, balls hitting the tape, balls hitting the line, 4-all.
You know how when you watch a Roger Federer match, you kind of can kick back and relax, kind of know what's going to happen.
Not the Safin match here in the same court last year.
Well, no, but you could, because you trusted what Federer. You always trust what he's going to do. He's so assured. You know what he's. You know, his tennis always makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's these two.
Come on.
That's a big serve.
Hantuchova takes care of her 2 service points in the tiebreak. And she's 2 points away from the match, but she's been close before. Serena. And guess what? Back over a few minutes ago, Hantuchova has a pair of set points and match points. This is her fourth, and just to be consistent, she keeps Serena waiting. Hantuchova will now have match point number 5, but on her serve. This is now a new record for a one-woman conference behind the court. But it's a big moment. It's a big moment in her career right here. Words from Serena that her winning streak is snapped at the Australian Open, and Daniela Hantuchova can enjoy one of the sweet victories of her life.
I got to tell you, tremendous effort from Hantuchova to hang tough and survive herself, and the will, the rigors of trying to beat Serena Williams. I honestly feel this is the best thing that could have happened to Serena and Venus. At this stage of their careers, the best thing in the world is that they don't get away with the kind of tennis that they have been getting away with.
Will this be the wake-up call they needed?
This is 2 ice-cold buckets of water over both their heads, I hope. But now we have to wait and see if they react in a positive way. There's such important forces in the game. And I'd love to think that, in a way, when you look back at 05, it was an aberration that Serena won the first major of the year. Because she really went away after that.
And again, it's the earliest exit for the Williams sisters in a Grand Slam in which they have both entered. We will not get that anticipated Sharapova-Serena rematch of the dramatic semifinal a year ago. Instead, Daniela Hantuchova will once again step in as the underdog against Sharapova in the round of 16. The young Russian Elena Vesnina against her countrywoman Nadia Petrova in the other half. So can Hantuchova keep this going, Mary, or is Sharapova now the clear favorite to get out of this part of the draw?
Well, I think Sharapova is the clear favorite, but again, all due credit to Daniela Hantuchova. It seemed for all the world that she, her best tennis was going to be years behind her. This is the biggest win she's had in a long, long time. It's nice to see her smile like that.
Serena out, Hantuchova through. Match point number 5.